Hello everyone, Old School from WhatTheBuck.net coming to you live from One Buck Place. I'm behind the field right now giving you the August 7th update. I think it's camp day 8. I started losing track. I'm horrible with dates and numbers, so I apologize. But we're here. We had pads again today, which surprised me, given the fact they had gone those days in a row. Good practice, good energy level. As I mentioned, the crowd was still very good despite having, it being a normal work day. Less than ideal status to update you guys on. I thought the quarterbacks in general had a relatively bad day. There were certainly some moments of brilliance, but we had a number of interceptions today, which is either a credit to the defensive backfield or a discredit to the quarterbacks. In fact, it got a little bit worse as practice progressed. From a quarterback perspective, Jameis was not as good as he has been, but certainly had some really strong showings earlier. Ryan Griffin continues to impress, and I honestly, like I tweeted, I just don't understand how Fitz thinks he's going to get this position unless he gets out there in preseason and just balls out. On a defensive perspective, Gerald McCoy was out. We had Caleb Benenoch out. On the offensive side, we had Dante Dye out. Gerald was just a vet thing. Benenoch and Dye were taking care of injuries. The tight ends today shown bright, all of them across the board. But I think in reality, as you guys all know, the stack rank, we got Brate and Howard, and then the rest of everybody. I think Soccer is moving himself back in because I don't think that Auclair or any of the other ones are stepping themselves up. Though Alan Cross today, every time he had an opportunity to make a play, did. And I think he's continuing to make a strong case to find a spot on this roster wherever it is. Early on, the offense moved the ball well. I think that the absence of Gerald McCoy was felt, but Clinton McDonald came in and performed admirably. You saw the offensive line is getting a little bit more accustomed to the speed coming off of the edge. They're doing some things with blocking to make sure that they can pick up that speed rush. Additionally, I got a feeling that the defense was a little bit vanilla early to allow the offense to try and move, not in order to set things up, but to allow them to execute, because that's what this is all about, is practice and execution. We are well after practice. The tight ends are still out there catching balls from Jameis Winston and Ryan Griffin. I don't know if Fitzpatrick's out there or not. I can't see. But the rest of the team, there's still drills going on across the field, little individual things, nothing drastic, but just getting a little bit of extra work. J.J. Wilcox, baller today. He showed up big yesterday, or the previous practice, and today I was talking to Ren Dax from the Pewtercast, and he feels as though Wilcox has had a great camp all the way across. I haven't seen him show a lot before the Saturday camp. It hasn't looked bad, but the Saturday camp he's shown really strong, and then today he showed really strong as well. Justin Evans did as well. Coach Koetter at the press conference said that they're trying to get them mixed up, not just as a pair, but mix them in with the other stack rank as well, to the question that just came in. Justin Evans looked very good. The coverage in general was very good today, I thought. There were a couple of lapses here and there. Early on, you guys saw the Godwin stutter go. But I think that in general, all these guys, when they're put into their position, are doing a good job of being where the ball is. Now, sometimes that pass is still completed, but if you're in the right place at the right time, you get a chance to get a hand on the ball. You can get a tip pass, deflection, something like that. And if these balls do get deflected, this team has shown that they are very opportunistic. I was chatting with some of the other media in the stands, and I think that the Mike Smitty aggressive defense is absolutely here to stay. They've got these cornerbacks jumping on things quickly. So I don't think this is going to be a sit back and wait. These guys are going to take those shots. That does mean there are going to be some big plays against the defense, but I think that the flip side of that is the turnover ratio should be very, very strong. There's a continued pressure on ball security. I don't think Godwin's trying to take over the slot. I don't think that's the kind of receiver he is. I think that Humphries has the slot pretty much locked down. I think that when I saw today out of the formations, they're going to move people all over the field. I think your top 4 right now are pretty unequivocally Mike Evans, Deshaun Jackson, Adam Humphries, and Chris Godwin. The 5th position is the interesting spot. Who's going to take that spot? I have said earlier I thought Bobo Wilson would be the guy because I thought he was shining pretty strong early, but he's faded off a little bit. It's going to come down to what happens in the preseason games. Terrell Walker making a strong case. The team seems to really want to see what Huff has got, but Huff does not seem to hold on to the football very well. As far as Howard's the number 1 tight end, I think that Cam Brate is still the number 1 tight end, but I think that that's a bit of a misnomer because I think that when you have Howard in there, he is a multi-threat. Cam Brate will block as well as he can, but he is not a blocking tight end. Howard can block and catch the ball very well. I think there's a ton of flexibility. We saw lots of 2 tight end sets and some 3 tight end sets as well. Does the Cutler signing change my thoughts on the Miami game? The answer is no, not really. I'm not a huge Cutler guy. I'm trying to get no sun here, guys. Sorry, it's a little bit awkward. I'm trying to get out of the noise. I've never really cared for Cutler. Tannehill's a different kind of quarterback. I would not have signed Cutler personally if I were Miami, but then again, with Adam Gase, maybe he can do something. I don't think it changes what the Bucs do, though. I think the Bucs are going to do what we do. The scheme will be our scheme, and it won't change at all defensively what we're going to do. And I don't think it matters that we beat the crap out of them when we played for the Bears either, to be honest. So Brian Anger today, not that anyone really follows the punters, but Brian Anger continues to be a thorough weapon for this team. The field goal kickers were terrible today across the board. Folk and Aguayo both were not very good. Coach Koetter made the joke that whatever they ate for breakfast today, they should not eat again. And reiterated the fact that, listen, kicking is not a mystery. You get a chance to kick inside the 50, you got to make the kicks. And that's what they're going to continue to do. So those are the highlights. I'll get some more notes, get these posted, but I appreciate you guys tuning in. Ryan Smith is doing a good job. When he gets in there, he has good reps. I got to tell you, there's no one in that defensive backfield that's being a slouch, right? It goes across the board. Your ones are doing well. Grimes is on another planet right now. VH3, Ryan Smith, Jude, when he gets in there, is doing a great job. It really does look good. And now we have to find out when we get to the preseason games if that's because they're playing against our own guys, right? So we'll have to see. That's what it comes down to, because we've got to get full contact. I mentioned in Twitter today, we need to see what these receivers do when they get busted in the mouth. No sunscreen. I'm old. I'll just turn into a lobster. I appreciate the concern, though. But it is sunny and it is hot today. We'll have a podcast Thursday night, 9 o'clock at whatthebuck.net. I'll be out here every day at camp this week and hopefully for the rest of camp. Justin Evans, like I mentioned earlier, looked very good today, continues to look good. I think the continued development is going to be important. Some of the concerns about his ability to cover, he's been covering very, very well here in camp. Jesus, I don't know where Beck was going to play because he's playing really, really well as well. He and Bond both are playing very, very good football. But again, when you talk about defense, so much of this comes down to contact. Jameis did not look particularly good, as I mentioned earlier. Highlights or the discussions earlier. He didn't look bad. What I'm saying is he didn't look as good as he looked Sunday. There was a particular pick that I didn't like at the end where he tried to force the ball to Mike Evans that I didn't like. But in general, I think you got the progression that you'd expect to see. Some really good throws across the board. But I think that right now Jameis and Griffin both look very good. Quan's going to be a dominant player this year. So are Levante. We're not talking about them because it's just expected from them, I think, more than anything else. So at any rate, I think I'm at the end of the length that most people listen to these updates. Reminder, I'll be out here again in the morning. If you have questions, tweet at whatthebuck. I'll do the best I can to reply to them, as well as tune into the podcast on Thursday at whatthebuck.net, 9 p.m. We do the show live, and then we also put it out there as a podcast. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.